You know, I actually waited a few days before I decided to do this video because I wanted to see the number of men that were outraged about this. And to date, I hadn't really seen too much on this. There's a few men that commented on TikTok, but on YouTube, there's not too many men speaking out on this, and maybe because not too many men know about this. You see the title, Unborn Child Support Act. If it's not enough that men were screwed royally through child support, men have raised other men's children just by the word of that female, believing what she said. She said that she's pregnant by you. So there are many men that step up to the plate, as they say, took care of that child, and then years down the line find out that child is not theirs. And they're still forced to support that child because they're looking at the best interest of the child, and you're the only father the child knows. Even after the man finds out the child is not his, he is still obligated to support that child, and he don't get a refund. He don't get his money back. They look at that as a gift. But men sit quiet. For some reason, men refuse to fight for their rights. Women fight for their rights. Gays fight for their rights. Blacks fight for their rights. Even illegal immigrants are fighting for rights. For some reason, men sit back and allow things to just happen. That is not manhood. And I'm sure in many of your minds, you're thinking that's being a man, but it's not being a man. It's being a fool. It's being a walking mat for females to walk over you, for the system to walk over you. How many men have been locked up behind bars? Driver's license suspended. Wages garnished. Have lost family, have lost their lives. And then later on down the line find out the child is not theirs. But now there's an Unborn Child Support Act, and this is being introduced by Republicans, by rhinos. These rhinos are really starting to manifest themselves. They're showing themselves. Now, this says that Senator Kramer, Representative Johnson introduced a bicameral legislation to allow pregnant mothers to receive child support. Now, in my own humble opinion, I'm going to put the link on the bottom so you can read it for yourself. But in my own opinion, this is no more than an incentive to keep women from getting abortions. I find this quite interesting because they say their body, their choice. They say that men have no rights, no say over their bodies. Women are allowed to leave their children at fire stations. They are allowed a way out of supporting a child, out of taking care of a child, out of being a mother. But there's no out for men because men are required, are forced to support children just by the word of that female. There are females out there that's making baby daddies. They choose to lay down and sleep with one man, get pregnant, and then the dude that's working, that's supporting himself, that's doing well in life, she now puts that baby on him. This is your baby. I watched on Paternity Court one time. This dude was on there and he was saying, I don't know this woman. I've never been with this woman. I've never seen this woman before. Come to find out, he didn't know the woman. She pointed him out as a father of her child. and had him in child support court. And the man didn't even know her. This is how a lot of these females are. And another thing, I think this is targeting mainly black men. Because the so-called black man is the one that's going to suffer the most behind this so-called bill that they're introducing, that the Republicans are introducing as an incentive to women to not get abortions. These are snakes. Now it says, caring for the well-being of our children begins long before a baby is born. It begins at the first moment of life, conception, and fathers have obligations, financial and otherwise, during pregnancy. Now, according to these women, men have no rights. We have no say. So that woman, if she chooses not to carry that child, it's her body. We've heard of mama's baby, daddy's maybe. So he's got no say over whether this child could even exist in this life. But if the mother says the child exists, and he says he's not ready to be a father, he is still obligated and forced to support this child. Why aren't men fighting for the rights, the same equal rights that women have? Women say that they want equal rights to men, but yet men aren't receiving the same equal rights that women have to be able to walk away without responsibility. I remember a case where two women, two lesbians, paid this man to donate his sperm. He donated his sperm. The woman had the baby. The relationship between the two lesbians didn't work out. She then went after him for child support and got it. Help that to make sense. Because it's his DNA, he has to now pay child support because she and her female lover didn't work out. Keep in mind, not her so-called wife is obligated because she helped to raise that child, but the man who owns the sperm. And he was forced to support that child. So women can walk away from her pregnancy. She can murder that child and then tell men, you have no say over this. It's my body, my choice. But yet men have to care for the well-being of our children, as they say. Now they say our children. It's not your child because you're not obligated or forced to pay child support. Begins long before the baby is born. It begins at the first moment of life, conception. So now this child is not even born. There's no paternity test, but yet he's obligated to support this child because she said she's pregnant by you. And fathers have obligations, financial, otherwise, during pregnancy. Mothers should be able to access child support payments as soon as she is supporting a child. Our bill makes this possible, said Senator Kramer. Now, this person should not be voted back into office. Then it says life begins at conception, and this bill is a straightforward first step towards updating our federal laws to reflect that fact. We are hopeful that Democrats will join this bicameral effort to provide mothers with child support payments while their child is in the womb, said Representative Johnson. Unborn Child Support Act allows a court in consultation with the mother, not the father, to award child support payments while the child is still in the womb and retroactively up to the point of conception as determined by a physician. And then it says, and this is the real kicker right here, and I'm going to stop right here. This is the real kicker right here. Pay attention. it also provides flexibility for mothers who do not want involvement of the father by not requiring those mothers to receive child support. It requires judges to consult with mothers on payment plans and give mothers discretion as to whether or not child support payments will be rewarded retroactively. Check this one out. Mandates that all paternity tests be at the discretion of the mother and not be conducted if the test would put the child at risk. Now, when have you ever known a child's life is at risk from a paternity test? I'm going to read that again. Mandates that all paternity tests be at the discretion of the mother. So if she says she don't want that paternity test, it's her body. She don't have to get it. She don't have to prove that that child is yours. It mandates that all paternity tests be at the discretion of the mother and to be conducted if the test would put, and not be conducted if the test would put the child at risk. And then right here are the senators. Joining Senator Kramer, don't vote for him. Representative Johnson, don't vote for him. Our senators, and then it says our senators, Steve Daines, Jim Inhofe, Cindy Hyde-Smith, Marsha Blackburn, Rick Scott, Roger Marshall, James Langford, Roger Wicker, and Marco Rubio. And then it says, parents know that the cost of raising a child long before birth, and fathers need to take responsibility. They kill me with that. Fathers need to take responsibility. But what about these females that's having abortion without the man? What about these females that don't want to take responsibility for that child? She refused to take birth control precaution, get pregnant, and now expect the system or someone else to raise her child or support her child. And then she gets on television and say, I need help. Well, why didn't you in the very beginning take precaution and use the child support use the birth control that's available to you? So now you need help. You choose to lay down with thugs and bums, completely ignore the guy that's got the job, that's doing well for himself. The square. You wanted nothing to do with the square. But now you expect the square to support your child. Your baby daddy is locked up in prison, and now you putting the blame on someone else saying that you want your child to have a father. You didn't think about that before you lay down with the bum that's locked up or that's dead as a result of gun violence because he made the choice to be a thug in the street, and now you expect the system or a hardworking man to support your child. And the Republicans are only making it harder on men. Men need to stand up. Stop just laying there taking everything that they put on you. Already the child support system is unfair. It's unjust. It's unconstitutional. But as long as we allow that to take place, it's going to happen. So when are men going to be men and stand up for their rights? Resist. Refuse to let them put this madness on you if there's not enough that's on our backs anyway. Look at what they're doing with the Second Amendment. They're stripping you of your rights to bear arms, to protect yourself and your family. And now they're forcing you to support a child even while the child is still in the womb. You don't even know if that's your child or not. And she's not obligated or mandated to give you a paternity test. So when are men going to stand up? So, holla if you hear me. Feedback, tell me what you think. Till next time.